Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Cold Blood Creations here on YouTube. This is our final video of the year 2019, and we're going to take the time in this video to answer some of your questions that you guys have sent us on Instagram and Facebook.
If you could pick only one reptile species to breed at Cold Blood Creations, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Probably Burmese pythons, but I also really like working with tegus.
Well, gosh.
Make up your mind, alright?
I know.
Probably Burmese pythons.
I'm gonna probably have to say the bull snake. They're fun to work with. Their disposition ranges anywhere from very, very calm to just complete spazzes. Also, they hibernate, which gives us a couple months off every year, and you don't have to worry about keeping them warm through the winter, which always concerns me a little bit when it comes to things like failed thermostats or fire.
My ball python acts hungry between meals. She eats once a week. Should I be worried?
So it might be because of the size of the prey item that you're feeding your ball python. If he's too hungry, then maybe you should try to up the size of the prey item, or even stay at the same size, just give him more than one.
What are your thoughts on under-tank heat mats?
Well, Nick, to be honest with you, I don't think a lot about under-tank heat mats. But I believe that in the wild, snakes more naturally warm themselves from above. So I actually prefer using heat lamps or lights as opposed to under-tank heat mats, just because I think it's a more natural way to warm your reptiles, the same way they warm out in the wild with the sun shining on them from above. Although we do have to take in consideration that snakes do get belly heat from rocks, from highways and things that they crawl on. So, you know, it's not to rule those out. I would caution you, if you're going to use an under-tank heater, then you probably want to use a good thermostat to control the temperature.
What's the longest snake you own?
So the longest snake we have at Cold Blood Creations right now is Kiara, our Burmese python, and she is now 13 feet long.
How long have you been running Cold Blood Creations? Love from the UK.
Oh man, appreciate it, guy. I've been breeding reptiles since I was a teenager. And Cold Blood Creations kind of evolved out of a love for reptiles. The name Cold Blood Creations came about probably around 2010. We actually became a business when both of my daughters decided that they wanted to come work for me. Up until that time, the vast majority of the work I'd done was educational programs in schools, and most of that involved venomous snakes, especially the venomous snakes of southern Georgia. Now, once my daughters come to work for me, I did not want to have them working with venomous snakes every day. So the business kind of evolved more into the pet trade style animals, and that pretty much has been what we have focused on ever since about 2010.
What is the best way to get your bearded dragons to exercise?
Well, bearded dragons are motivated a lot like us guys are by food. One of the best ways to get them to exercise is simply to make them work for their food. Feed them stuff like crickets, where they're going to have to chase them down. Maybe take superworms and slide them across the floor.
Should I ever handle my bearded dragon when it's shedding?
Actually, this question's come up quite a bit. I think particularly because of a recent video that a pet tuber did criticizing people for holding snakes that were in shed or during the shedding process. The truth of the matter is, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to hurt your bearded dragon for you to hold them while they're shedding. It's not going to hurt your snake for you to hold them while they're shedding their skin. You know what? Don't be afraid. If your dragon's in shed, pick them up and hold them. You're not going to harm them.
What are the requirements you think someone should meet before getting their first snake?
You know, I am probably not the one that needs to be answering this question.
Don't do anything my dad did when he first started. It's a wonder he didn't get bit.
My first snake was actually a wild-caught rattlesnake that I caught when I was just a kid. Got myself in a lot of trouble with my parents when they found out that I had a rattlesnake in a cage in my bedroom.
First thing I would tell you guys is to do your research. When someone comes up to us at a reptile show and they see a snake and they say, wow, this snake is really pretty, I really want to take this home, but I don't know anything about it, before selling it to someone, we would really appreciate it if you guys would do your research and your homework and learn a lot about an animal before you take it home, and it is now your own responsibility.
What made you guys want to get into snake breeding?
Ever since I was little, I can always remember us having reptiles at our house, and I was always fascinated by them.
I remember even as a young child, my parents would take me to the zoo, And you know, they would try to get me to look at the monkeys and the lions and all the different cool animals. But I was just transfixed with the reptiles.
Probably the second reason is because I have really bad allergies. I can't work with fluffy animals like dogs, cats, bunnies. I'm allergic to all of them. So working with reptiles is kind of my way of having pets, and I have a lot of fun working with them.
You want to do something for a living that you actually enjoy. And when I found out that I could actually work with animals that I was already passionate about and make a living doing it, then I decided, you know what, that is exactly what I'm gonna do.
I love y'all's country accents. Are you guys from South Carolina?
South Carolina. Actually, no, we're not. We are from Georgia. Let me tell you something, there's a difference between country and hillbilly. Now, we're not married to our sisters, and we got a full set of teeth. But though we're not hillbillies, we are country, and you probably know because you've heard on this channel us say things like,
How's your mom and them?
boy, you need to pull up your britches.
That baby is so ugly, bless his heart.
Hillbilly's done stopped up the commode again. All right, y'all, we fixing to end this thing.
Yep, we are. And if you liked it, which we're hoping you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you guys in 2020.
You may think that we were because you hear us say some similar things like,
and you see flies in December. And also check us out on Facebook.
There is a